Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sights and Sounds of Goa. The only sounds that you will listen today is that of chirping birds, maybe the dogs barking in the background, crickets, cricketing around over here. But today we've come to a very special house. It's a kind of, it's an ancestral house, but the people living in it is what makes the difference. I'm proud and honored to be at the home of Emiliano De Cruz. We've come to this very sleepy village of Lotali and very happy to see Emiliano De Cruz, who is, as always, happy and chirpy. Good to see you, Emiliano.
Most welcome.
So this is where the heart of all the activity, isn't it?
Yes.
So, Emiliano, well, thank you for having us over here. Thank you for having Goa 365. So this is the house of Lilia and Emiliano De Cruz, isn't it?
Yes.
Sing Goa, I'm check Goa. It's time to save our home.
So then cocks crowing, birds chirping, lots of insects around the place, beautiful butterflies, and this is the home of Emiliano De Cruz. Emiliano, thank you for being sat here. We usually see you at a restaurant, at different gatherings with your mandolin and your guitar. So this is where you live, right, Emiliano?
Yes.
Before we actually go on to find out about Emiliano as a child, as a student, as a young adult, as a bachelor, we'd like to know, Emiliano, I attempted to find out what's your full name. So can you let us know what's your full name, Emiliano?
It's a very big name. It's Emiliano Antônio do Sagrado Coração de Jesus da Cruz. Oh.
So in school, when teacher had to ask you to spell your name, it would have taken one whole period, I would think.
It's called just Emiliano. This is my...
Yeah. So Emiliano, tell us a little bit about yourself. You were born, you are actually from Kurtori, right?
Originally from Kurtori.
Okay.
And I was there for many years when I was a student.
Okay.
And when my father was escrivão da comunidade, he got transferred.
Okay.
And in many places, he was in Margão for 18 years. Then he went to Churão. From there, he went to Neura, where I was. Then, and last, he went back to Kurtori.
You are part of how many members in the family?
We are three brothers and one sister. One brother is Faustino, other one is musician Agostinho, and sister Stefania.
Very
Yes,
nice.
yes.
So they are still at the ancestral home in Kurtori.
No, that house, nobody is staying there. Almost 15 rooms, big house.
Okay.
Nobody is staying. And this house, Lotoli, is the house of my grandmother, because I got married to my cousin, Lilia, and her father and my father, first cousins, and her grandfather and my grandmother as brother sisters.
Okay.
So since she have no brother,
It's all within the family.
yes, I'm staying here, and we own also this house.
Excellent. This house is quite dated. How old is the house?
Is almost over 100 years.
100 years old.
Yes.
So now, you are instrumental in taking Goa to the world with your music. How did it all start, Emiliano? Was it with your grandparents, your parents? Did they have music in them? And
Oh yes. That's one. They born very talented, and I had my uncle Prispadva Venancio.
Okay.
Very good choir master he was. My father also knew a little bit of music. Very talented, all of them, and that is enough.
So your music has come from the guidance of your uncle. Did you say how did you?
No, when my father told me that when he was alive, I asked one day with him why simply he bought me violin at the age of 7. I asked with him. He told me that when I was small boy, about the age of 4 or 5 years old, he used to take me for many places, like in the beach, where people used to sing with the guitars.
Okay.
I used to push him that side. When during the feast. There used to big bands, no.
Okay.
I used to push there, and he used to cry if I take him
They
back
took
home.
you back.
Then otherwise, if anybody playing any instrument, I used to make him stop. And if the main thing he said that morning, every time he used to put Emisora de Goa, our radio, and Radio Ceylon those days. I used to jump from the bed and go next to the radio and sit there all the time. So he thought this boy must have taste for music. At the age of 7, he bought small violin and with nylon strings, and he called one his friend Mestre Paulo. There I started learning with him. Then after that he put me in that school of Escola de Música in Margão with Father Camille Xavier. There where I learned solfeggio with him.
Excellent.
And then later on, when I at the age of 11 and 12, I went after having passed Segundo Grau, and I went to seminary.
Oh, so
In our family, yes, his uncle priest Faustin, we had family, always a priest. So he wanted also me to become priest. So he said my uncle was priest and my brother is priest now, Venancio. So, and the father, Mauro told me, Mauro was a priest. He said, Emilio, just show me your fingers. Are you want to become priest? He said. He told my father, he's very good. Send this boy, he want to. He said he want to be, what we know, age of 11, you want to become priest? I said yes. So father sent me. So I went to Saligao.
Saligao.
Where father, that time rector was this Bishop Raul Gonçalves. He was my rector.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I said I was there 2 years.
So you spent 3 years over there, and then
2 years.
2 years.
Yes. Then I left.
Okay.
I left because I knew that was not.
There was
for
a
me.
different calling for you, and
Yes. Then I
Yes.
went. Then I joined Lyceum, which I done till 4th year. Then Escola Técnica, I done 3 years. Curso Electricidad.
Okay.
Yes. That was done. One thing but one thing I studied after music. When I was when I studied seminary, also I studied music with Father João Batista. Very good musician, very good musician. So he solfege, the art of writing, and Professor Lourenço Menezes from in academy. Then I joined Academia de Música. When I was doing Lyceum, then I joined Academia de Música, and Professor Maestro Figueiredo was teaching me violin as well. Professor Lourenço Menezes taught me how to write.
So Emilian, you have been well qualified where music is concerned, not like the many musicians who just hear, they play music hearsay. You actually know to read and write music.
Of course.
There must have been years of studies.
Of course, you
and tra-
require, of course.
So what has gone into this? I'm sure the journey must have not been easy to come to where
you know
are.
that those days in Academia de Música, still they have that thing, the solfeggio, and they were very strict for the students to read and write also. They used to put dictation. So after reading, the teacher used to sing, "Come on, you write now." Yes, and that was coming in third year.
It was it was just like a language, how you write.
Yeah.
So music was a
So
language.
that was actually I never thought to become a musician because I went there to learn the violin and everything. So finally, the change of this regime, Portuguese. Okay, some people say liberation, other people say invasion, other people say Operation Vijay, anything. So I don't do concern. But all changes happened, but I was very sad that time because I have studied only Portuguese and I have no English education at all. So when I started, because I started playing quite difficult pieces, so my father, I was almost 18 that time, 18 years, and I was very crazy for music. And I said, what I will do? Then somebody came from Bombay and told my daddy, I send this boy the big scope in Bombay for film studios.
Okay, so that was your journey
yes.
to Bollywood.
So any film studios. So one violinist came, Oscar Pereira, in Goa, and he came to visit his friends and Kurtori, and my father, they met him. He said, you better send this boy with my father, Dominic Pereira.
How old were you, Emilian?
I think so, 18, 19.
Okay.
So he sent this boy with my father, Dominic Pereira. So I gave up Academy de Music, this thing, and we started taking private lessons from Dominic Pereira. And I saw there that this real the art of playing violin was with him. Okay?
Okay.
These people, they were teaching certain limit. You know, these people, they used to teach an academy up to certain limits. Certain. But this man was something outstanding.
This was in Bombay, is it?
He was in Bombay, Dominic Pereira. He studied with the German, Edward Baer, in Bombay those days. And he was, he's one of the products of Leopold Auer. He's one of the Russian big violin teacher who taught Yatcha Heifetz, one of the top world-class violinists. So his student came to Bombay during British times, yes, and Edward Bess. And he taught my teacher the art of playing violin. So he was very good violinist in Bombay, and he was rival of Milli Mehta. You know Zubin Mehta?
Yes. Okay.
His father. Milli Mehta was in Bombay, one of top class. Another one was my teacher. Those days, everybody talks is in Bombay. So anyway, he came to Bombay to settle down, and I had an opportunity to meet him. Then he said, so after the 19, I was learning, I started playing. He said, Emiliano, this is, you want to go to films? Your technique is very poor. It's not good.
Oh, he criticized.
I said, no, what you are doing is just for Coco Meme for Goans here. Okay, I'm going to solve the thing. You will not even step in the film industry because they get very. So he told me, and so I studied with him for almost 2 years.
So that time the film industry musicians were dominated by people.
I'm telling you, I will tell you a whole thing which I know from the, that was I'm telling you. So 2 years I started playing only music, and he told me, Emilian, I found in you are very gifted, very gifted. Go only for music, because we Goans, we have joined big country India now. This is not, you'll never have the Susega time which you have, because I know I am in Bombay. You're joined and we know where will be competition everywhere where you go, and if you don't work hard, and if you struggle to do, you'll be finished. Because first thing, you don't know to speak English, very big difficulty for you. Second thing, this now the while you have to work hard. Can you believe I used to practice 8 hours? Morning and evening I used to practice. So finally, my father was very angry because
you gave up everything.
Yes, and he's telling me, he used to be Ishkiram the Kumda de Mapsa. And he's a man who used to go very often for parties, very social man. When he used to go, people used to tell Mike Ali. That time I formed a group in Mapsa called Young Caballeros.
Young Caballeros.
Yeah, it's still one.
Which year would this be, Emilian?
That was actually before joining this teacher. That was 1961,
right.
Just before.
Where are the other members of the
They are Aureo and Romero Kunyangom.
Okay,
yes. Aureo play mandolin, Romero play guitar, good guitar. Rohin Pandan is piano.
Nice.
And this fellow was the one Shaku used to play. That time was double bass. I used to use, because there's no, used to be that tin box.
Yeah, the coffee box.
Coffee box and
coffee box.
and even this present big engineer Osvaldo Ribeiro.
Okay.
Osvaldo Ribeiro, who is now in town planning.
Yes.
He used to play also. He played for some time guitar. We have lovely fun playing Portuguese music.
Excellent.
And a lot beautiful.
It'll be joy to go if we can.
Yes,
get
but
the
what
band
happened?
together.
No, but the main thing is there. My father don't want me to become musician. So everywhere we used to go for party. I stopped all the studies and started going to study. Every people is known as Antonic. Antonic, what your son is doing? My son is doing music. What music? What when you want to put him to play for Ladain and Festa? This is 1960s, and he used to have a few pegs of Urraka, and he used to hit me also. Yeah, we are putting me in shame wherever I go. People see your colleagues, see Kunyangom, they are going college, other fellows in medicine, third fellows, and you, music. what a shame. Everybody asking where I go, what children doing. I should be proud of you, and somebody will start bombarding me. So finally I told my teacher, Dominic, see, these people in Goa just spoiling his mind. Then don't listen to me. You know what Goa, what your daddy and many other people, they saw only Mapsa, Panjim, Ponda, Vasco, that is Goa. He said that's Goa.
That's their life.
That's their life. And he said also, ek bebu ku bain tahlari,
Correct.
to samjat ko tatyam buttam ke going karenge. He said, don't listen to them. You belongs to more high. I know your potential. Don't listen to me. I will be dead, and you remember me. Believe me. After playing for some, I started playing very difficult. He made me member of first time to play of All India Radio, like classical, and I started giving concerts in piano, violin concerts. Nobody, not a single student of Academy de Musica gave any concert. Played for public, the Academy. That's why he always criticized the Academy. They have only limitation up to a certain limit. Higher
They won't take it to another.
No. Maestro is excellent for conducting, but he was not a good violin teacher.
Emilian, coming back to the whole, Bombay music scene. So you played in several Hindi movies.
Yes. What happened when I went to Bombay? I met with Oscar, his brother. He told me, just play this. I played that thing. Was very happy. But he said, still, Emiliano, just go again to Goa. Go for more 3 months and take this book, Shadrach. This passage you get in film line, because this all passage based in Indian ragas.
Okay.
Where our Western notation, you studied so many books, is not get. So I bought that book and started practicing hard. After 3 months I went. When I went after 3 months, they again made me to play. I was very fluent. Then I passed the audition of cine musician, the audition.
Oh, there
I
is
was
a-
chosen,
okay.
yes, I was
There is
chosen,
one.
and I joined. The first thing, he took me to Lakshmakant Peralal, introduced him. He said in Hindi, this is my daddy's people, just helping. Then he took me and said to Sebastian D'Souza, one of the greatest arranger of Shankar Jat Singh. He told me, this is my daddy's, and Dominic Pereira was like these people
Quite
used
a
to
known
worship me
person.
as he said, oh, Dominic student. He said, okay. Nobody say no, when they mentioned Dominic Pereira. So Sebastian helped me to put for Raj Kapoor movie. The first movie I played, the first song which I earned my bread, Mere Naam Joker. Can you believe? This was in
So were you part of the song?
19. I was one of the 40 violinists.
In
There
that
were
song?
40 violins.
And
Taran,
Yahan.
I was there, one of them. Can you believe? I was so happy. Frontline, we used to play obligato. Such a happy moments of Raj Kapoor. That time he came and told Sebastian, only 40, put more 60. He said, there's no Bombay. No musician.
violinists in Bombay.
More. Put, I want that sound. Rishi was very small. They used to come in the studio. And I still remember Raj Kapoor. Such a nice man. He used to be mixer with Raj Kapoor. And I played that song. And I got my first money.
From your music.
And those days, when you enter, always you enter in B grade. And after years you go to A.
A grade.
Then soloists, they get extra. So I was in B grade. So that time I used to get $62. It was too much for 4 hours. And overtime. But for one day if you play, $125. It's good in 1960s. So much money. When my dad used to give 5 rupees. 5 rupees I used to, and Coca-Cola used to cost 50 paisa. Going to Betim Academy, that was other thing. And it was too
So
much.
192
And fine,
rupees
yeah.
a
So
bit.
the people used to call me. But that day, we got full day, take that 8 hours to record that song.
Jina Yahan Manna.
Yes, that's all. And he came and we got Latam, and then slowly other music directors. Lakshmakant Perel also was coming up. So they used to give me also job morning and evening. Good. was this, from that day.
So how many years did you spend in Bombay?
I spent about 15 to 17. But tell him what, after a few years, I started getting fed up. I said to me, this is my music. I born with Latin flavor. You know how is this? No, let me start.
Your own
there.
feel.
But the reason to start, film industry went on strike. Can you believe after 5, 6 months or 7 months went on strike because they wanted more increment.
increments.
Raise. I had nothing to do. My God, I was so no money. And since I used to get a lot of money, there was
You were spending a lot.
nightclubs, and blah blah
So
blah
Emilian
blah.
visited nightclubs as well. Very good.
Are fantastic! What fun! We used to go to Shamiyan, have best tea, coffee. At that age, I was 23.
And they say a man with a guitar has a lady by his side quite often.
Wine, woman, and song. You can say. Those were the days. So finally, we had a lovely time. Finally, I said to me, when we had strike, I had no money later on in the hand, all money was. So I used to play for Marathi. That messages was there now. Not theatre for Marathi plays, violin. So that fellows, so corrupt fellows, they used to give $50 for show, for one show. One show, $50. He used to take 25, that's it. For giving me, as all young boys, to job that messenger. 20, 25 he used to take. Otherwise you don't get, and if you don't get, no work in film.
work.
I never used to play in hotels. Nothing. What to do? I used to go such hard days ahead just for 3 months. After that whole thing again came back. Then I thought this computer started working. This type of things, and that's not my taste. Money is not
everything.
Not everything in this world. I wanted more pleasure. I used to play there 4 hours, play, get money, come. But there's no pleasure. You don't play. You don't.
It became very mechanical, so everything.
But one thing I was very observant. I was observe how they arrange, how that thing. I was watching. Very good experience. Morning used to go one thing, one type of music. Evening different other music that different rhythms, everything. So I could never see. But second one thing. So slowly I gave up that thing, and the boys came from Goa. Tony Alvarez is from now in Kalangut. He was studying in St. James. I used to sing with Tony Sparks. He came to Bombay. Then I got one drama.
And you formed
And I formed a group, yes.
in Bombay.
In Bombay, called Gay Caballeros. Okay? And we start playing everywhere. Start playing all Latin music with hats and this hats. Let's start from that time. Start playing thing. So I have to change the name after 4 or 5 years for Emilianis Caballeros. I had a girl called Sandhya,
Who used to
very good singer. Emilian, you are gay? He asked me. I believe me. Yeah, because I could not talk properly English. And I said, why, what's the gay? Yeah, they are gay. I said, why asking me? Why no? Gay Caballeros. So, so she bought a Debonnaire book, small book. And I saw what gay means. Oh my God. The next contract, I changed. I changed name for Emiliano Caballeros.
In these days, it would be very legal, Emilian. So you can bring back the name.
So I changed the name for Emiliano Caballeros.
So the next day you must have changed.
Yeah, no next contract, and no more was Gay Caballeros.
Oh.
But we had a lovely time, and so I started playing at Heritage first.
So coming down to Goa now, Emilian, of course you've now seen the world. Which other places have you been, and who are the dignitaries
I'll tell you.
with?
I will tell you. I'm working. I joined Taj in first was in 1968 for them, but after that I played occasionally with Gudi Sarvai for ballroom for lunchtime music, light classical. Adrian de Mello, Victor, myself, Gudi Sarvai, piano, beautiful music. Used to play 1 to 2:30. So I had a lot of experience of international music because that time Chef Mashkarengi was there, Chef Masi. He used to come there, and Gudi used to ask him, Masi, today which nationality? He used to say German. He used to go whole file of German music. Boom, put there. Next day Italian, boom, all Italian music. Partiture, ready made. So I used to put, and he used to play directly Italian, French, everything. So that music I came to learn, And that music I taught my trio now at present. Only they know
They know.
this
So-
because I learned from that original. Huh?
So what you've
Original.
learned, you've now passed on to your trio. And
Yes,
it's exclusive to them.
yes, and that's why we got plus points everywhere we go because we can play little bit of all the music.
Everything.
Plus, I took a lot of interest in writing also some other songs also from other countries.
So Emilian, if we have to talk about dignitaries, who have you played in
You
front
know,
of?
I tell you this also. That was 19. I came to Goa. I'm telling you, I played at Taj in Bombay. I started playing Rendezvous on Mondays, off days, and I joined Hotel President when Taj took over Hotel President, 1974. Then the first serenading, the manager, I met the manager. They called me, Emiliano, I'm opening a restaurant, Trattoria. There's no stage, no piano.
So you
Can you
said-
do something? So immediately I went to, I said, I'll try. I said, something new. I said, because that time I used to play in the films also. Okay, in the for movies, and then he told me, can you do something for that? So I said, okay, I'll try. I went to Alitalia. I had my friend Roland Valada at that time. Roland just me show some brochure. He gave me brochure, and I saw people playing with accordion, guitar,
Just acoustic, yeah.
acoustic guitar. I came and said, I called one boy, Roy Mendenje, very talented boy, play rhythm guitar. And I told him, let's start this. I had a break. I didn't, since I joined the films, finally in the film studios, I become assistant director to Rajesh Roshan.
Okay.
Yes, because when I had put the music for the music Greskai, he liked my score and he made me his junior assistant. So that time I used to get a lot of money. Every arrangement, I used to get, the other fellows, seniors used to get 600, 400 every time to write arrangements. But my failure was, I don't know Hindi. He used to give me written in English. He used to give me a song. I used to go to his house. He used to play in the petty. And
you
a
used
song
to
in band, and
translate
they used to play with tabla. I used to record and give me. I used to write nice obligato, the background music. I used to write that thing. But he used to write me. He used to write the meaning of the song in English. So I don't know the and they know actually very important thing. Nobody knows this. People must know, young generation.
Okay.
You know how they make song. You come and you listen to all the songs, no? You just listen to the song. You know how they make? First they plan. Is a director who direct a film.
Film,
Yes.
okay.
Who takes the shots for filming the song. They come and meet the music director, and they give the lyrics. After that, they come to his residence, and he say, during this time will be shot this thing. Second shot, I want something where they go in the train or they go somewhere. You have to put the music.
have
So so music director, the 4 arrangers was there. I was just junior. There I learned a lot of tricks, how to put. So they used to tell, nah, Baba, this shot is going, no first shot, first verse, and after that, train will be going, and they are going to go on train, and from there they
And
are
a
going.
different kind of music for that.
Yeah, dumchak, they used to put. After that, then they used to come, then they used to meet some boyfriend, girlfriend. The fellow used to get angry, boom, gives a blow. How to give that blow? It's through music.
Excellent. So we're going to be having a little of father and son duo performing for us. But
But-
before we actually can go into that, can I ask you, Emiliano, you're not just music. When you're not playing your music, you run a farm as well, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes, I got a dairy farm and piggery.
Dairy farm and piggery. So we'll talk about
You
that.
can look a little
Yeah,
bit.
we'll,
You can
we'll,
have
we'll
a round of
have,
it.
have a quick round of that. But meanwhile, can we now have a little performance?
Yes, yes.
Well, we've driven the distance, we've spoken to Emilian, but right now in our midst also I've kind of dragged his son into this whole conversation. Zubin, hello.
Hello.
So is dad a strict tutor?
Yeah, when it comes to practice, yes.
I'm sure you have a true belief in the hard work that he's put in. Do you read music as well? Have you attempted to read music?
Yeah, I do. I do.
What do you actually do now, Zubin?
I'm doing my 12th standard in travel and tourism at St. Andrews, Vasco.
So are you ready to globetrot as well, just like your dad?
Yeah,
And you like football as well?
yeah, I'm playing for IS Sporting.
Oh, excellent stuff. So anyway, we leave all the other careers, but now we're concentrating on music. So what are you going to perform with your dad? I think let the master say so, right? Okay, this is Emiliano, his son
Right.
Zubin, and of course Mario, part of the Emiliano's trio. So let's hear how it goes. Emiliano, all yours. What was the piece that you just played, Emilian?
That's my composition.
Okay, that was an Emilian's composition. So now we'd like to have something very
okay.
Goan. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, this is a good friend of Emilian's. When Emilian is not playing his music, he's got his whole farm across here. So Emilian, how many such friends do you have?
I have at least, including heifers, around 25, 26. Yes.
25, 26. So this is the less known side of Emilian. Everybody knows him with the
But I
mandolin.
want to have a maximum 35.
35.
I will have, maybe we'll take 1 year more. Maybe.
I say Emiliano has a streak of naughtiness in him. Now he showed us his cows and he's got a special name for his bull. So okay, who's this?
This is called Barao. We call him Screw Master.
We possibly know why. So all the lady cows are well looked after by the stud over there.
Yes.
He looks like he's got the potential.
Yes, of course.
Must have learnt it from his master. So Emilian has cows, he's got a stud, and he's got, look at the size of this beast.
But is a Barao, that they are known as Duroc. Duroc, they are known as Filipino's pig. He's only one in whole private farm.
Now you can see the sheer size of this pig. It's huge. So Emilian, thank you for sharing so much of your precious moments with us and taking us through the whole life of Emilian in a short nutshell. Is there anything that, as we conclude this program, that you'd like to tell the people of Goa?
Anyway, I must thank you, Jeffrey, for coming all the way and to cover all this. And you know, this quotation of Swami Vivekananda has inspired me a lot. You can
So this is a quotation that has touched Emilian, and he keeps this little quotation from Swami Vivekananda, and it reads something like this: "You live only once, and so do the stones and the trees. But do something with your life so that you are remembered long after. Otherwise, what is the difference between you and the stones and the trees? They too live and perish." How very nice. Emilian, thank you for these wonderful words, and I wish all our Goan youth see you as inspiration, because many of our youth consider music as just as a pastime, but I think there is life in it, isn't it?
Of course, this. Especially when you compose music, you are out of this world. So it's allowed to the pleasure that I'm having especially when I compose, when I concentrate in my playing, is very big. That's why 2-3 hours, 3 hours playing is in hotels like peanuts. It's because we concentrate deeply and we enjoy doing it. And where is when you do something with love, always God is there, and I believe in that.
Excellent. With those thoughts, we're going to conclude today's program. Thank you very much, Emilian, and we wish you all the very best for a long more time to come.
Thank you very much. Thank you.